Welcome to the podcast. Title Talk with Corey. Now streaming. Stand by.
Check.
60 seconds.
All right, good morning. Today's Corey. Today, this is Corey, title right here, Pacific Coast Title Company. And today's Monday, March 18th.
It is. It is the after St. Patrick's Day.
It is. Yeah. So what'd you do for St. Patrick's Day?
What did we do to make kids?
I got the world on my mind.
Yeah, of all things.
Shona Corey, carry the show.
Running out of time.
Sooner or later, them CY got the realest flow. Son of the dark, but I still got the illest flow. And that's chronic to me. How a chronic MC can drop me before we drop the chronic CD.
I did a lot of domestic work. I don't know, just pool work. Picking up leaves. That's all I did, man.
Domestic work. I'd be like, what is that?
I guess, man. I don't know, man. Just
your listeners are gonna be like, what?
domestic house husband. I don't know.
That's gonna be the word. It's gonna be the word. Domestic. That's gonna be the word of the day. Domestic. Like,
oh my god. Yeah, man. So here we are. It's Monday, March 18th, and a lot of news in real estate. Really over the weekend.
Yeah, we
just started talking about the
NAR with the lawsuit and that, and
the new rules.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some fear among some agents out there, and we just want you guys to know that that's what we're here for.
Yeah, right. Try to make it light. Try to put our spin on it, and anytime something new like this comes out, of course, people are going to you'll get some that'll panic, some that'll just not even know it really happened.
Right.
But real estate's going to go on. I mean,
for sure.
Right. The fact that, I think what I was reading on NerdWallet this morning was, that's going to, basically negate the agents that would avoid showing specific houses because the commission wasn't high enough. Right. And then,
true.
Right. So ultimately, I mean, that definitely put, a seller at a disadvantage. And I get it, right? Every agent's out to earn commission. That's kind of how they make their living. I mean, I totally understand that. But yeah, that definitely sucks for, some sellers.
Right.
And,
Well, hopefully it'll just kind of level out, and, I'm sure everybody will get settled in and we'll just, business will just keep going, For the time being, we just need to continue to, educate out there. And we got a lot of stuff here at Pacific Coast Title Company. We were talking about it earlier today. We had a little meeting. Just all this tools or resources that we have for targeting listings. And I've been talking to my clients over the last few weeks about life events and need to sell versus the
want to sell
versus need to sell, right? And I know that's kind of something that you're going to be working on today.
It's a big, there's a big difference with that. And, George, our sales manager, he preaches that. I mean, he'd actually be a really great podcast guest because, the guy
he
is
would.
amazing.
I just don't know if you would be cool with jumping on.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah,
I'm sure you would.
Well, anyways, I didn't even introduce you, man. I know you were on probably
back,
a month ago.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're gonna keep it going here. We got Jerry Hernandez here, PCT marketing director, guru in marketing. But you, man, you dabble into a lot of things, kind of like me.
Definitely got my background in. So I went to school for marketing, and but it's just always been somehow tied to the real estate industry. As many times as I've ever tried to get away from it.
Really,
every friend that I've ever had, it's just either been in real estate or everything. So it just kind of has always pulled me back in. Which is interesting.
It's like title, man, for me. Man. Yeah.
It's like once you get in, you can't get out.
You can't get out.
That's
man.
what they say.
That's true.
But we definitely we're involved in a lot of projects, right? Projects outside of PCT, but primarily within PCT, right? Developing our apps, developing, our platforms, developing tools for our sales reps. And then more importantly, they're all kind of really geared to making the lives of our agents a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
Helping them. We know how hard it is to go out establish yourself, find a new listing, go out and get business. So everything that we ideally build or come out with is with them in mind, right? Like our stats reports.
Really all geared towards growth,
100%.
right? Building business and helping the agents grow, expand their.
Well, if they win, we win. Right?
Well, absolutely. That's why I always say, hey, if you guys eat, we eat, right? So hey, we
that's the second word of the day.
exactly eat and domestic,
Yeah,
domestic husband.
Those are those are the two words of the day. But
I don't know where the hell that came from, man.
but it's here.
There's no script.
But yeah, no. Every tool, like we said, one of the powerful tools that we have is Pacific Coast Agent, and a lot of agents, when they see it, get a little bit overwhelmed because of how many things it has within it, right? I mean, you're talking about your buyer's calculators, you're talking about your seller's calculators, and then you're talking about the entire marketing component inside of it, right? That ideally is extremely powerful for any agent that wants to basically generate content, right? Because think about it, right? What do you normally see when you're on Facebook and, you see a solicitation from an agent? Usually it's like, hey, look what I just sold, or hey, let me get you a free market analysis today, right? Which ideally is just kind of the general term that so many use.
Right.
But within Pacific Coast Agent, right, you have an entire set of marketing flyers in there, right, that are content driven. For example, you can give area specific infographics, right? So for example, so let's say you have a listing or you're targeting an area, you can use that and it'll allow you to show all of your viewers where the nearest Starbucks is, where the nearest hospital is, what the schools are, how far the freeways are, what the walking score is. So that's like really powerful when you're having a listing. And then typically, because what do they put out in an open house, right? Buyer and seller's guides.
Right.
But if you actually put something like that out, all of a sudden someone's like, okay, great. You know what I mean? I know exactly how far the hospital is out from here. And then that's stuff they can also post on social media, right? Where
the premium feature, you can brand yourself through it too,
absolutely, right? So yeah, there's a big distinction. There is the non-premium version and then the premium version. So just so everybody knows kind of the difference between the two, right? So obviously we're regulated because of State Bill 133, where ideally we can provide tools that can help you, generate estimates and get title fees, right? There is the marketing side of component to the app, and that's on the premium version. So that basically is $12 for the year. Doesn't go to us; it just goes out to the developers of the app.
$1 a
itself,
month,
basically, right? So ideally, $1 a month gets you your own marketing department, practically, right? So they're consistently putting flyers in there, marketing pieces, and the great part about it is a lot of these are customizable, right? So you can enter a specific price point for an area, and it'll fix all the numbers that are on that actual piece, right?
Yeah.
So it's really relevant to the area. You're not going to be passing out, something with $1 million estimate in an area that maybe has a $550 price point, things like that. So, and the fact that they can generate it instantly, text it, post
brand
it on
it,
Instagram,
send it out.
Of course, you know what I mean.
Oh, that's very powerful. So that tool, that's called Pacific Coast Agent One. And I know you can download that. I've downloaded it on my Mac, but you can also use it as a mobile app. Right?
On your iPhone, on your Samsung Androids, on your desktop PC, and as Corey mentioned, on your Mac. So yeah, it's on every
very powerful tool, because it's not just because of you got a couple components. You got the marketing side of it, which you can brand, but you can also set up those calculators with your own branding, your own logos, and send those out too. Especially if you're sitting on an open house, right? I mean,
huge.
That's a great tool. You got your iPad there. People come in. You can send them little estimates
instantly.
Boom,
instantly.
branded with your phone number, your name.
Yeah.
Guess what you're doing? You're emailing that out, or you could probably even airdrop it too. Right?
Absolutely. I think one of my favorite calculators in there is the extra payment calculator. That's one of the most powerful and fun ones to see, right?
Yeah.
Because specifically when someone's buying a house, it's scary, right? You're like, great, I'm going to be locked in for 30 years. I'm like, man, that's a big payment.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a calculator in there that shows the buyer, like, hey, if you can send an extra $100 towards your principal, this is how much interest you're going to save over the life of 30 years. And then it becomes like a little game. It's great because it's like a little slider. And they're like, well, you know what? I can probably squeeze in, $200. I don't have to go to Chick-fil-A every
Yeah.
day, right?
Yeah.
Like we do.
No, I know.
I don't, have to get my $8, $9 coffee every day. I can put that towards, my principal. And then they see it just grows. They're like, all of a sudden, you shaved off 5 years off your mortgage and you're saving $70,000 in interest. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
So that's something, again, right? It's just making the agent look that much more
Yeah,
polished.
and you're
right?
providing value right off the bat.
Tons,
You just
right?
meet them here. Use this tool.
And the
got
thing
your
is,
name on it.
right? And it's basically simple, right? If you don't do it, your competitor is going to do it, and then he's going to look better than you. It's just the reality. It's like when
Right.
with our son in baseball, right? It's like, listen, dude, if you don't put the work in, if you're batting 8th or 9th, and the other, your teammate's batting 3rd or 2nd, it's just because he's just putting more work in than you. It's the same thing with this, right? Like if that agent is a lot more prepared than you are at his open house, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, he's just going to look better than you.
Right.
And so that's again, right? It's like, so we can kind of lead our agents to the pond, we just can't make them drink,
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we've been a big proponent of.
That's what I've been kind of saying, with all these, and there really is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. Is that you got to kind of shake the tree a little bit, and but yeah. So Pacific Coast Agent 1. I mean that I didn't really, I didn't really know about that feature.
It's huge.
Yeah.
You have that. You have the
It's a great calculator. There's like several calculators on
tons of
there.
them. Yeah, there's tons of
Yeah.
them, and then ideally so there's kind of just the go-tos that I think whenever we do have the chance to give a demo, since it has so many things, it's like, okay, great, we have to kind of pick.
Yeah, because it's just
and
too much.
We have to pick
Yeah.
and choose. So
Kind of like
obviously-
a toolbox.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So the extra payment one is one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like the sell to net. Right, the sell to net is great because you have your standard net sheet, but the sell to net is with a number in mind. So every seller, regardless of who they are, have a number in their mind of what they want to walk away with
Right.
when their home sells, right? When they sell their home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whether they're an investor or whoever it is, I'd like to walk away with $120,000. So that's called the sell to net calculator inside Pacific Coast Agent, right? So all they do is, great, enter what you want to walk away with, give us your current balance, and if, for example, you were an investor or maybe you made some investments into it, just let us know what they are. Pop those in there, those 3 things in there, boom, it'll tell you exactly what you need to list that house for in order for you to walk away with that $120,000, all fees included, whatever commission has been agreed upon, all
Right.
those things. It takes them into account, breaks them down into a very, very detailed estimate, and that's a wrap. Yeah, that's a really nice one to actually, that always gets
Yeah, you're right.
positive reviews.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. And obviously that's going to all have to get adjusted once the NARP sets out the new rules, right? I mean,
Right. Well, I mean, you can adjust the settings, and then what's great about it is,
yeah, that's right,
so
yeah.
again, it's just these settings are not hard coded, right? So
Yeah.
you can, if you have specific fees for your office, like whatever origination fee, well, that's on the loan side, but
Yeah.
whatever your fees might be, you can program those in there, and then they save. And then if you ever needed to adjust it, it's really great because they say, do you just need to adjust it for this estimate or for everyone else moving forward? So, and I believe we should probably be having a class on this, since we're having the Friday webinars.
Yeah.
And those are great. I mean, we're
Yeah.
getting, about 150 people attending every Friday now.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
huge. Yeah. And obviously those are given by, George and Anthony, our sales managers. And I mean, they're great. So
and we're doing those over Zoom or
yeah, they do them on Zoom. So
Yeah,
I
so-
believe, I think our invitation for this week's webinar should go out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So we send it out to
So stay tuned for that. I'll be posting that up. That's going to be a group. The first one is going to be on the want to sell versus need to sell.
That's this week's. Yeah,
That's this week's.
Last week's.
Okay.
Last week's was basically the understanding of trusts and how they pertain to title,
Right.
and that was great.
It's a great
I mean,
one.
He had yes. Yeah,
Hey, are you guys recording those and putting those up now?
He is. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna, since they're actually becoming really, really good, I think we're gonna start to get into some little post-production, kind of editing them after, right, and kind of just creating clips, right.
No, that's a great idea.
Because
Yeah.
George, he's great at speaking. He's great at kind of
Yeah.
getting people to really understand what
Right.
he's trying to get across. So
Right.
if we create clips, and it's just digestible portions, right? Easier because sometimes some people might not
Oh, yeah.
have time to sit there
do the
throughout the
same
whole
thing,
thing.
yeah. Just put little clips out.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a good tidbit. This is that, and then if you
Drop
do-
some breadcrumbs.
that's the other word. So we got domestic, we got eat,
Yeah.
and breadcrumbs.
Exactly, man.
Oh man, but
You got to drop the breadcrumbs, man.
yeah.
No, but this is all. I mean, the truth is, I mean, we're all about helping agents, make your jobs easier, but to also help you, bolster your revenue, by providing you with like the best tools, the best resources, the best data out there, and there's a lot of it. And I don't think a lot of you guys get, the right education on some of these resources. So. Yeah, so having you on today, man, is we're gonna keep doing this, man.
Oh yeah. Once a month, I think
Yeah.
we dedicated like once a month or something.
Yeah,
like
we
that,
do once a month.
right?
Once a month with Jerry Hernandez here, PCT
Yeah.
marketing guru. No,
So-
but honestly, I know you do a lot with like, the website, the look, the branding for our own company. But I'm really shocked to really see how much you really understand the ins and outs of some of these applications for real estate agents. Like, I mean, you really understand a lot of their needs.
Yeah, that's kind of
You know?
that's how I started, right? So I kind of had to work my way up. So I got, I was given a chance to get in to the title business, and then I, just started kind of being basically a marketing assistant, right? I mean, I had it.
So you were never a title rep.
Never.
Okay.
But I mean, and
But-
I understand how hard that job is.
Yeah.
And so, but I was lucky enough to, from a marketing assistant, then I would have to go out and give presentations.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
I'd go to office, right?
That's
I'd
hard.
have my projector, right? And you're trying to set it up in like a small corner.
I
and
used to do the same thing.
Getting
man.
people,
I don't,
right?
I still have I haven't used my projector in years, but
Yeah. We used to do.
you don't do that no more, huh?
No,
it's
I've
all on
done
the
that,
TV now, right?
Everything's on TV.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
on Zoom.
Yeah.
But I used to have to go to office, right? And I'd go a lot of times with like George and Anthony.
Yeah.
And I've had some epic fails where it's like the app is not loading. I am sweating like this, and I don't have any hair, so you just see like this dripping. And George would try to stall, and and we've had some really good ones too.
Yeah.
But that really gave me a lot of experience on kind of understanding the dynamic of when you're up there speaking to your audience.
Yeah.
And then you have to know what you're presenting. You can't wing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get that one person that's gonna ask you something
And you're not
in
ready.
detail, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy's either and
Yeah,
you'll
eat you up,
notice
man.
that you'll notice a lot. Like you'll notice when you have a good presenter and someone that's just
Yeah.
and you notice there's levels to the
Oh,
game.
for sure. Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I got to learn everything. So
Yeah.
and then obviously creating all our pieces, right? You have to kind of
You gotta know what-
put in the breadcrumbs in there that are
Exactly.
kinda that people want to know about. So
Right,
you
right.
definitely got to know the tools, yeah. Because ultimately, sometimes it's like you don't know what. It's not a one size fits all, right? Yeah. Sometimes you have an agent that maybe they're interested in Title Toolbox. This
Right.
agent might be an agent one, and this agent just wants labels from your farms department.
Yeah.
So you gotta really know just a little bit about all of them. You don't have to be the expert, just a couple talking points, and then from there, if they do want to learn more, then hey, it's the ever added, hey, what are you doing next week? Which then you set up the
you set up an
appointment, and
appointment,
then
yeah.
it gives you enough time to do your homework, right?
Yeah.
Talk to your managers, get all the literature, study, and then you meet with them.
Yeah.
And ideally, you pass your test, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah, no,
kinda-
no. I've done a lot of those, like especially with Title Toolbox, and for me, I get nervous, man. But what I tend to do is just put myself in the middle of the room versus like in the front of the room.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of speaking with them.
Yeah.
But I've gotten pretty good at using that application, and so I kind of get to the good stuff right away. Let them know what it is and how powerful this thing is. I always tell my clients they should be using that like every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something that they should use it should be part of their routine, their daily routine.
Yeah.
Just kind of knowing, using that platform to sort of micro leverage all these little farms within a farm.
Yeah, it's just
great-
it's just one thing to do, right? Like again,
Yeah.
it's not the answer to everything, but
No.
it's just one. Hey, you should definitely be trying to use this app as much as you can, right? To put something out on social media, create a new piece, generate an estimate for a potential listing, and then put it, even if it's not your listing, generate an estimate,
Yep.
get a picture of the listing, put both of those together, put them on social media. You're gonna get people that are those are breadcrumbs.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are little breadcrumbs that people are gonna bite. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. But
And
you're also providing good information too.
Oh, huge.
Good demographics for, like you said, through the Pacific Coast Agent One. Really good information out there for the public, for people who are, in certain areas or neighborhoods. Keeping people informed.
That's big right there, and that is the thing. Like, so again, we met with a powerful. I mean, you're talking like a multi-million-dollar producing agent out in Newport last week.
Okay.
With Anthony, and I mean, I was just amazed, right? That there's levels to the game, right?
Yeah.
Because we're sitting there, and he's telling us all that he does, and you're kind of sitting there, and you're like, man, it seems like you got every single angle covered. And luckily, we were able to talk about Agent One and Toolbox, and definitely piqued his interest, and he said, great, that's something I can definitely use. But so that tells you, right? I mean, if we're able to speak with an agent down in Newport, right, an area that doing, high volume, and he was interested in something that we have, we must be doing something right.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna get to
And
it.
I always try, like, especially with like the luxury listing, clientele. A lot of them are working with teams.
Yeah.
So I always say, we can train your assistants or your, the agents that are working in your team to help you, because they don't want to be told they have to be
Nope.
educated, or or sometimes, not all the times. I mean, I do have some pretty big agents that love this stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And so, but I'll always offer to, hey, let me help your assistant. Let me help you. Let me set them up so that they can do this stuff part of your daily routine. Check title toolbox. Check the new stuff that's hitting the neighborhood.
Absolutely, yeah. Those that have systems in place, that have people in place, train them. Train them, and then
Right.
that'll kind of get pushed up the
Right.
chain, and as long as it starts to work, I mean, that'll kind of reflect positively on the title rep themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Toolbox, I mean, like I said, that's what I was going to get to on Agent One, right? It's about putting content out there, right? Becoming an informational source, right? So there's tons of flyers there, tons of pieces on buyer and seller education, not necessarily on what you can do or what have you done, but great, educating them, become a source of information.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, if you can, you continue to inform them, conform them, they're going to see you as an expert, right? They're going to see you as an expert, and then they're going to go to you. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
The same logic applies to kind of our title reps, right? It's the same thing, right? The better you know your stuff,
Right.
the easier it is to put out content, information that's going to educate, which then in turn is going to break down walls, give somebody the courage to ask you a question, and then that will lead into a possible transaction or
A referral or something.
That's it right
people
there.
want to work with you want to work with somebody who knows what they're doing. Who knows the market, who knows who just has knowledge of the neighborhood. And so.
That's a big thing there too, right? You gotta know kind of your area, and I think George always preaches. He says, "Know your numbers, right? Know your numbers, know your area, know exactly great in each of your farms. Great, how many single family residences are there?
Yeah.
How many condos are there? Right? You gotta know your area. You got so because the better you understand it, the better you're able to generate something, take action that eventually turns into a transaction. Right? Take action that turns into a transaction.
Right.
There
You go. That's a good one, man. All right. And so last time I had you on, we were talking about something that we've been promoting to the escrows out there called the transaction desk.
Yep.
And that's a fantastic sort of portal that we have up for escrow, primarily for escrows, right?
Mainly escrows and lenders. Ideally, is really what that's intended for, because they're
Right.
really the ones that, for the most part, are at their desk, right? They're working on the transaction. They're doing everything that they need to.
Yeah.
So that's that's really intended for them. Not to say that it won't help our real estate partners at all. Of course it will, especially transaction coordinators.
Right.
Yeah.
So that allows them to get up onto the through the portal. They have their do they log in? They log in with their
Email.
Email, yeah. Okay, so and then you can now. Are we able to upload now documents into there?
You are, right? So which is good again, right? So let's just talk in the hypothetical world of we're in the transaction itself, and for the most part, how do we communicate now? It's either a phone call, an email that has to be sent into the unit, and then right as a title rep, we got to jump in there, see if we can expedite the request, right? But if they're working in a queue, and great, your email that you got is 32nd in line, and you just need this little update done on it, you can put that request in through transaction desk. That gets moved out of that queue into the queue that of the team that's doing the actual updates, right? So now you've really gotten pushed to the front of the line. If you needed to submit a document, for example, proof of that something was paid off, you can upload it directly to the transaction desk, and it gets it right into the eyes of the people that need to update your prelim, send it back, done deal. So again, these are little things that over time we've done to make the lives of our escrow officers, lender partners, and then our title reps a lot easier, right? Try to make the transaction as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got one client signed up on that, and it's going good so far.
It's gonna be it's gonna be slow and steady.
Yeah.
Like I said, right? It's something that's not revolutionary because every title company has their own.
There's some version of
platform,
that.
right? So
right.
again, this is ours, custom built, and then we're just gonna slowly bring everybody on. And then the reality is, once they start using it, I don't foresee them going away from it.
Yeah. No, I know.
Because again, right, everything we've done on there is with them in mind. So it's not that it's because it's going to be the best thing out there, but we want to make it so comfortable for everybody using it that it's like, why would we go away from it? That makes sense?
Why would you do that? Come on. If you're an escrow, you want to jump on, check out the transaction desk here at Pacific Coast Title Company. Feel free to reach out. We'll get you set up. You reach me direct, 626-392-7993. You can also email me, open@CoreyTitleRep.com. But check out the website, too. If you're an agent, there's a lot of resources up there. We're doing a lot of classes, training, in group settings, in person. And now we have, we're going to be doing these trainings over Zoom with the great Jorge Mesa. And then I'm sure you're going to be doing some of those too.
He'll have me jump in on a couple, and then we kind of. I mean, like I said, we've done so many presentations together, and I've learned tons from him. So we just kind of feed off, just like this.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's good.
A lot of breadcrumbs.
Lots. We're gonna be shaking the tree, dropping breadcrumbs everywhere. For you agents out there who are hungry, if you're hungry, you want to be fed, you come over to PCT, Pacific Coast Title Company, and we got a lot of stuff here for you guys. A lot of great marketing stuff, tools, and and I'll be honest, some of the other title companies have stuff out there too. But I think that coming over here at PCT, we got we strive to educate clients because the more education you guys have, the more knowledge you have, the more valuable you guys are going to be to your clients. And of course, we want to break bread with you guys. So. Let's go out there, get some more deals, get some more listings. Don't be afraid of some of these changes that are coming. It's going to get all ironed out. You're going to be okay. But let's continue to go out there and to market, to prospect. You got some great stuff. So you got a great team here in your corner. And Jerry and I, we're going to be jumping on monthly, and so we're going to keep you up to date with all the latest and the greatest stuff.
Yeah, well, Ramos will have a couple different words of the day that we'll probably put on back here. Right? So today, so today we got breadcrumbs, eat, and domesticated.
There you go.
We're going to build our vocabulary of words here. So we'll definitely have some.
We got some new ones coming. We'll have some new ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what? Anything else that's
on the horizon?
Cooking right now? What do we got cooking?
Yeah, we're definitely setting up some really great partnerships with other vendors and things like that are all transaction driven. So, we're, as now, we're able to do nationwide business.
Oh, that's right.
That's huge. Yeah. So that's huge. So any of our lenders that are doing business out of state, our title reps can definitely help you with that. And,
that's right. So we're now officially we're nationwide. We were throughout the state of California, Nevada, Arizona, and now we're nationwide. So if you're a lender, if you're out of state, you do some loan business, We would love to help you guys. Again, just reach out to us, and we'll get you set up.
Yeah, that, and like I would say, the other thing I would say is just jump on the webinar. Look out for the invite, the link that you're going to post.
Yep.
For this Friday, should be a dandy.
This Friday is going to be want listings versus need a listing. Okay, so you want to jump on for that. I'm gonna share the link with you. We're gonna share the. It's gonna be a Zoom, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
again 2-part, right? Just like you mentioned that, and then it's going to be the understanding the homeowners who want to sell versus need to sell. There's a big difference.
Yeah, 'cause-
right. There's a big difference, right? The
And that's
urgency there.
I've been telling everybody too. About I still have some clients saying, "No, can you give me the next sellers list?"
Yeah.
And that's I'm finding that that's not really that useful right now, and that's because of obviously the interest rates when they got locked in at 3.5%, 4%. Going after that algorithm is not as effective right now. So I'm recommending going after the need to sell client.
Yeah.
Especially one thing I've been promoting out there is the aged absentees, owners who've been holding for 20 to 30 years. It's a great time for them to sell because values are are plateauing. Values are plateaued, and so if you're going after the next seller algorithm, you're going to be trying to find an owner who wants to maybe or they want to upgrade, right, and sell their house that they bought at 3%. They're gonna go buy a new house at 7%. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a little harder. Not that those clients aren't out there. So I would be focusing on the need to sell niches. Aged absentees. In Title Toolbox, there's some premium features that we can't give you, but you can actually access through Title Toolbox. like life events, divorces,
huge.
affidavits of death, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Again, we can show you how to get there. We can show you how to get those through the application. Those are premium features. But we're going to keep educating, keep providing you guys with resources.
Knowledge and tools, yeah. Knowledge,
and
resource,
tools.
and tools.
So
yeah.
stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got some more episodes coming with
Yep.
Jerry Hernandez, PCT Marketing. Whoop, whoop. Yep. What do we call you? Marketing guru? Marketing.
It depends on
The guru, man.
We've been called all kinds of stuff every time.
All right. So I think we'll wrap today,
Yeah,
man. And
absolutely.
then we'll get you on next month, and we'll keep playing with the little sets and see where we'll end up next month.
You got it, Corey. So remember the words of the day, right? We had breadcrumbs, eat, and
Shake the tree.
shake the tree, and domestic.
We're gonna shake the tree with you guys.
You got it, everybody.
So you guys
Thank
have
you very much.
a blessed week. If you guys need anything, you reach out 626-392-7993. Also, if you want to set up an appointment with me, you just get on direct at www.coreytitlerep.com. Click on the appointment tab there, and we'll set up a meeting. We'll do some trainings. I'm gonna post the menu of trainings that we have coming up. So you guys stay tuned. I'll see you guys. All right. All right, man.
I'm feeling good now. No